welcome everyone. We're back with the HerdCon podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Alford, and I'm here today with my co-host,
Heather
Heather.
Lauer.
Yes, she's remote with us today. And we have with us today Sabrina Thomas from the MU Libraries. And we're going to be talking a little bit about this spring art exhibition, Optimism in Appalachia. So, Sabrina, tell us first a little bit about yourself.
So I am head of research and instruction services at Marshall University Libraries. I have been working at Marshall University for around 16 years at this point. I have a real love for artwork and showing artwork. And I also right now have 3 kids, a lunatic dog, and a guinea pig we call Sugar.
Guinea
Now
pig.
you just need a cat.
I wish I could. I love them from afar, but too
Oh.
close and body breaks out into hives. And then
Amen.
the children, 2 of the 3, will be covered in hives. But we love them.
Oh,
We
yeah.
watch the cat videos. Chonky cat.
Oh, yeah.
Love it so much.
Yeah, my
I
daughter.
have a chonky cat.
Yeah. It's
Oh my
chunky,
God.
fun. They're gonna be cuddled. We've got one at home. It's our old
Oh.
man kitty. I mean, he's not that old. He's only like 7, but at the same time, he's the old man in the household, and he's the grumpy kitty that gets mad at everybody else, the dogs, the cats, the people. He thinks, they're all beneath him at times. It's like, just, I want warm. I want comfy. Leave me alone.
That sounds like me sometimes.
I very much feel like a cat sometimes. Well, Heather, do you want to start us out with our first question?
Oh, sure. So, Sabrina, first of all, thank you for agreeing to come on our podcast, our podcast, rather. So, you have been organizing art exhibitions in the library now for quite a few years. What inspired you to start this particular project?
Well, thank you for having me. And what inspired me initially was I was painting and listening to a podcast in my house, and I was it was talking about how to create change in your world, and that's an incredibly huge idea to try and create positive change in the world, and it's overwhelming. And so at the end, you're inspired, but you also feel like, well, what can I possibly do? Well, the last few minutes of the podcast, the person speaking, the prisoner said, look at your walls. And it was funny because I was painting my walls the entire day. The entire time I was painting and painting and painting my walls. And I'm like 2 inches from my wall. And I was like, that seemed almost divine. And I was like, okay. He said, look at your walls. If you don't know where to start with your walls, because you can hang things on your walls. You can present things on your walls. What can you do with just your walls? And I had a moment where I thought about my own walls, but then I thought, Drinko Library sure has a lot of walls, a whole lot of walls.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have always, almost since being hired way back in 2006, looked at the walls of Drinko Library as an opportunity of what if we filled the space with artwork?
Mm-hmm.
What would that look like? And I thought, wow, what if I had a show where I invited artists to come in and we could project change. And so that was the first show. Nevertheless, she persisted. And it was all women artists. And it was a way that I could showcase and highlight women artists, because women artists are often excluded from galleries at a higher rate than your typical white guy. So, so yeah, that was my way of creating change. Well, that was pretty successful. We had an enormous amount of artwork, a really big opening. I was blown away by how many people loved it and
Oh, yeah.
showed artwork. So every year, even though it's a lot of work, I think, well, this will be the last year. And then every year after that, I have, even throughout the pandemic, we were just showing artwork on the walls. And another one of my goals is there are both galleries, art galleries and libraries can be sometimes intimidating. So to walk into an art gallery can be intimidating for some folks. And then walking into an academic research library can be intimidating for some folks. And this gets sort of a swath of people. Some people may feel comfortable in a library, but wouldn't go to a gallery. And some people would go to a gallery, but not necessarily to a library. And this gets people to get into more avenues. So there's that. That was a goal, to bring in more people and get more types of people. But also, ultimately, the big overarching goal of these shows is that these artworks, these shows will create ideas, inspire people to look up more information about the topic. And the library itself has resources that can inform those ideas. So the brick and mortar building of a library is about space to meet and to research and to collaborate. But our resources, the library's resources, many of those are online in databases, of course, and in ebooks. But what you can do with your ideas is you can look at the idea of, oh wow, women are underrepresented in exhibits. That's interesting. There's a whole history of exclusion. Huh. Well, let's look up more information on that. And you can, through our resources, look up credible, quality information that indeed shows, yeah, women have traditionally been excluded from exhibition spaces. So yeah, that's a little background on it's a passion project, really. These spring shows have always been a passion project.
Yes. And they've been a very successful passion project. It's been fun because I've been here for all of them so far. And it's so interesting seeing just the number of people who show up to see of course, the receptions. And we have, of course, people showing up just throughout the semester, looking at the different artworks and stuff, which is really cool. So we've had a lot of fun seeing some of that. And I know we've kind of worked on ways to help people talk about what they see and whatnot. So it's neat seeing the representation and the engagement.
It's gratifying to see students sneaking pictures
Mhm.
of
Oh,
different
yeah.
displays, where they will take pictures of the different artwork, and I love that. That means it's a successful show. Also outreach, because anyone in the community can put in artwork for this. We get working artists,
Mhm.
local working artists. We get working hobbyist enthusiasts.
Yep.
We get working writers because we will accept writing
Yes.
as long as it's framed and has a wire on the back. We will showcase that writing, poetry, whatever.
I was gonna say, didn't we have a math formula one
We
year?
had a math formula one
Yeah.
year, folks. It was cool.
It was really cool.
So cool. Yeah,
I can't remember which artist did that one, but I remember it was hung near the elevators.
Dr. Neese, not
Was
Dr.
Dr. Neese.
Elizabeth Neese.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That was probably during Nevertheless She Persisted then.
I am trying to
Because I want to say that
remember,
was early on.
but it
was very unique because it was
so unique.
this framed formula that it felt like it took up the whole page. It was a massive formula.
Yes.
And it was so unique, and different. And it was nice seeing it as the idea of math as an art form in that respect.
And if you talk to Elizabeth about it, she will tell you that her math is her art and can be artistic and very creative. And I try to hang with her on these conversations. I do. But it is fascinating to see how her interpretation of math and art are not separate, but the same.
Oh, yeah.
But these are the kinds of conversations, folks, that I want to have in the library, that I want to spur in the world, so that somebody can go, wait, how can math be like art? Is what information is there on that? And you can talk to a librarian. You can look at the sources we have on that. So, and hopefully maybe get inspired yourself.
And just because I want to say that you've done this in the past, have you also done book displays that kind of match the topic usually, so that you do have information right out there that people can kind of connect to the topic?
Yes, as much as possible, I will try to coordinate a book display. The book displays are to showcase what print books we have in our collection. It gets a little tricky because folks, print books, we tend to have more ebooks now than print books for lots of different reasons. But it is still really important, I think, to, when possible, have something that you can reach for and check out as soon. So you could come into the library, look at the artwork. If you go to the opening and listen to the artists, you get inspired. You can go to the book display and grab a book and check it out, hopefully, if you're a Marshall student, faculty, or staff member.
Yes. We do have some limitations on who can use our resources. But even if you are just a community member, you can pick up books in the library, look at them, read them here on campus. So yeah, it's still accessible that way. And if your local public library has interlibrary loan, they may be able to request our materials. So, of course, your public library may have those materials too. So we like to partner with them as much as possible.
If you have questions, you can contact your local librarian.
Yes. Yes, we have library chat and all that kind of good stuff. Heather and Sabrina both do library chat, so you might talk to one of them.
Absolutely.
Now, we've talked a little bit about, of course, the past shows, some of the stuff that you've had come in. Tell us a little bit about this year's theme and, what you are kind of hoping to see brought in for it, because you said that anybody can bring work in for it. Tell us a little bit about the theme and who and what they would do to bring stuff in and submit.
So the honest answer to that question is I've been doing these shows for a while. We have in the past had Resilience in Appalachia, Don't Call Me Crazy, which highlighted mental health. We had Creation and Confinement, which also highlighted artwork created during the lockdown and pandemic. And I realized that the shows were starting to feel heavy. Not all of the artwork was super heavy, but a lot of the shows felt heavy. And I think what happened is in last January, my sister died from COVID at the age of 50. And it was unexpected and it was shocking and hard. And it was a brutal couple of months. And when I came back from bereavement, I was surrounded by pandemic artwork, which was somehow it was good in some ways and also hard in other ways. And it really reinstilled in me the power of artwork and where people are at mentally, at least where I was at mentally. And so I was like, what artwork could we create or highlight that was instilled with hope, that was made the soul a little lighter, maybe highlighted optimism. I'm the type of person where if things get super, super dark and super heavy, I tend to viciously attack sort of a silver lining. I'm like, all right, things are real bad. Where is this? What good? What sort of like a something to draw myself into more light.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, this one is it's recognizing that there are a lot of hardships, right? There's numerous evolving tragedies. We've got the global pandemic, we've got financial insecurity, the climate crisis,
Mhm.
mental health crisis. It is a lot. There's just so much going on that can, if we focus solely on it, can really drag us mentally down. But what is creative expressions that can encourage, reveal, buoy a certain sense of optimism about the future,
Okay.
uh, sort of anchoring ourselves in hope rather than anchoring ourselves in the challenges and solely the challenges.
Looking beyond the obstacle itself
Right.
to what we hope to see, the outcome that we're wanting and trying to work towards.
Right. So much of I love a good challenge. I love attacking a good challenge to try and find solutions. But I think anchoring ourselves in hope, and artists are visionaries so much of the time, and they inspire us to see a vision of what could be.
Yes.
That's why I love artists. It's why I married an artist, but also it's also why I love sci-fi, but that's a completely different topic. It's this idea of you have to be able to see and imagine the thing to get to that place.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So we're accepting any artwork that is crafts, could be artwork, could be poetry. I have seen what looked a lot like a short story.
Mhm.
If it's framed, we'll do it. And if you think no one will read it, I have watched people,
Yep.
I have watched them stand right and they read it, and sometimes they take pictures.
Oh, yes.
Um, so that is what we're accepting. The requirements, because this is essential, guys. This is essential.
Yes.
When you drop off your entries on December 8th and 9th between the hours of 8:30 and 5 p.m., make sure your work must have a few sentences on how or why their work fits within the theme. So, it doesn't have to be anything um like like beautiful or anything. It just has to be this photography gives me hope because, or this relates to the theme because otherwise we'll get like, you know, something that could be a photograph of this water bottle, and I'll be like, that's lovely, but what does it mean for the theme?
Mhm.
Anyway, I myself am not an artist. I'm creative, but I'm not that kind of creative. So a sentence to explain how it relates to the theme. All work must be fully assembled, completely dry, and ready to display in a highly trafficked public setting. So, artwork that still has wet glue on it, please no.
No wet glue. No
No
wet paint.
no wet paint. It's because bad things happen, friends.
Make sure that the clay is dry.
Frames are required for 2D work, including poetry and other short works of literature. There must be hanging wire on the back. So, true story. People will put in for the show. They'll put in beautiful works of art that are incredible, and we're like, "This is great! I'm so happy. Where is the wire hanger? We cannot hang it." And they're like, and then we stare at them, and they stare at us, and we stare at them. Guys, you have to drop it off with a wire on the back.
Yeah,
That's
we can't do that for you.
yeah, we
That
can't.
That's
That's
kind
your
of an insurance liability issue because that would be us modifying your work. So instead, you bring it,
Also,
sure it's there.
also it makes sure that it's hung the right side up.
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah. If you do abstract work, it can definitely be a chore for us to try to interpret which way you want it to be presented. Well, it doesn't even have to be abstract for us to not know how you want it to be presented, because you may have
100%.
something very different in mind than what we interpret. So yes, you tell us how it needs to be, what's upright, what's not upright. If it's sculpture, it has to have a base that it will actually stand on.
Oh,
That kind of stuff.
speaking of sculptures, we do accept sculpture. So a 3D
Oh,
work,
Yes.
yes, 3D work must be no larger than 45 inches high by 26 inches wide by 7 inches deep and weigh
Mhm.
5 pounds or less. Why? Display cases, friends. Has to be
Yes.
able to fit into the display case or cannot be a part of the
Yep.
show. If you have an exceptions, no worries. What if you have questions about any of these things, you can contact me, Sabrina Thomas. My email is, and I mean this, sabrina.thomas@marshall.edu. And if you call and ask, and we can talk about what sculpture, what size of the sculpture is, how much it weighs, because in the past, all the artist has done is said, here is the artwork. It's this size and weighs this much. Can I still submit it? And we're like, we had to, huddle and be like, where can we put it? Where can
Yeah.
where can this go? And we've made it happen. So I'm not saying things can't happen. What you cannot do is drop off and not give me a heads up that it does not meet the entry requirements. Does that make
Yes.
sense, everybody? I hope so.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
It just make sure you warn us if it doesn't fall into the criteria on the prospectus, which we'll be including the links for the prospectus with the recording with our description, and we'll also have it on our webpage, marshall.edu/HerdCon, under this podcast when we get it released. So yes, you can find out that information, and you actually still have about a week left before the deadline to submit. And I'm hoping to have this up this week as soon as possible, so everybody hears about it beforehand. But that's always the fun of this kind of stuff.
oh, that'll be perfect.
Oh yeah. Well, since we didn't have one last week, I thought let's just get this one out as quickly as possible. That way, people have something to hear, and we can get it out early enough that they can actually, hear about it before the submission deadlines. And
Mhm.
they have a kind of warning about when the opening is.
So we just decided the opening will be February 2nd at 4 o'clock in Drinko Library Atrium. This will be very exciting because we try to have at least a few of the artists speak a little bit about what their artwork is, but we try to include as we want as many of the artists to attend as possible so that if anyone has any questions about the artwork or wants to know more about the artwork, then they'll have an opportunity to hopefully meet the artists at the opening and have conversations. So in the past, we've had people who were like, hey, I don't like this artwork. You should not display it in the library. And we've said, noted, we don't censor in the library. So here is an opportunity to sit down and meet with the artists, and you can ask them questions and discuss the artwork, in an environment that is safe for everybody. That's how, intellectual freedom is worked out in real
Mhm.
time.
Yes. And we have had things that have had opposition in the past, so it isn't unheard of.
Nope, not unheard
Mhm.
of.
But and do be forewarned, we do like to I guess the best thing is we do like to give people the opportunity to go ahead and, they can talk about why they don't like it, but we do like to go ahead and still present it. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Um, we don't censor our artwork. We do not censor our books. So if you want some real wild content,
oh yeah.
we'll ask a librarian.
Read a book.
Yeah, read a book.
Ask a
yes.
librarian. We will point you to some real good stuff,
Oh yeah.
real controversial stuff.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay. Heather, you got any other questions you want to bring up?
Oh, heck yeah. I want to hear about your past exhibitions, especially the quilt one.
Well, so this fall semester, we had quilting is not a lost art. We had a local, it was basically a local quilt group that came in, and they gave us, man, they filled the library, first, second, third floors.
Yeah, we've got 3 floors with, I don't know, like 30 quilts?
At least 30 quilts, and I want to say 8 artists,
I
and
think so, around 8.
each floor had a theme.
Mhm.
This is a dream because I've wanted to, and several in the library have wanted to do an entire show on textiles, and the amount of craftsmanship that goes into quilts, and the the stories that they can tell are just
Oh, yeah.
incredible. I again, so I was in the public library downtown Huntington, and I looked up, and there was a quilt of books, and I wanted that quilt so badly. And the director of the library said, "Nope, not for sale." And that's how I knew I should talk to Mary Terrell, who was
Mhm.
leading the that local group. And I am just so incredibly grateful to the local artists who are willing to lend their artwork so that we can showcase it. And again, a lot of negative people out there would be like, "Oh, what college students don't want to see quilts?" Friends,
Oh,
I saw a bunch of selfies, saw lots of
so
pictures,
many have loved it.
compliments. The opening had students at it, guys.
Yeah.
You never know what the youngins want these days.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and not only that, I mean, I don't know what kind of person would not appreciate something that somebody put that much work into.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
I mean, these take hours and hours of work, and they are absolutely gorgeous.
right. Then
Yeah.
all of my concerns, I had so many concerns. I thought, oh, somebody's going to like wrap themselves up it. No, the students have been incredibly respectful.
Mhm.
No, I'm the one who can't touch I'm like, I want to don't stop. I want
Yep.
that's me. I control myself, but it's hard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we've had so many just interesting quilts with this exhibit because there's several that have I'd say kind of like three-dimensional additions because they've got the applique and the buttons and things like that to add texture to it, and it was just so pretty seeing some of them.
Love it. And they tell a story. So, I
Mhm.
mean, some are on the Underground Railroad. They're talking about
Mhm.
how the quilts were displayed to uh, show symbols that specifically told people where to go,
Mhm.
what was safe.
Mhm.
Um, that's incredible. Again, this enhances the education experience at Marshall University.
Oh, yes.
I personally think so. Yeah. Oh, and then don't forget we have the intellectual freedom display. That is
Yes.
for
Mhm.
cases.
Yeah, that's in the cases.
Again, just a reminder to everyone that the library doesn't censor.
Mhm.
We highlight if there is something that is controversial, we don't shy away from it. We don't shield it.
Mhm.
We say, hey, this is controversial. Here's lots of information on it. It's all credible.
Mhm.
Here's what the experts say. Like,
Yep,
that's what we do as a library. So
very much.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. What else?
Wow. Thank you. And I really appreciate, I mean, the fact that you did a quilt exhibition. Both my mother and my grandmother were quilters. So the amount of effort that goes into those is just mind-boggling.
And
But
actually it feels
off topic or on topic, when you were talking about Dr. Neese and her proof that she hung up, I
Mhm.
was thinking that that was in the quilting exhibition. So I was just like, my gosh, that sounds amazing.
Nope, separate, but that
I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure it was Nevertheless You Persisted
I think
that one
I think it was Nevertheless She Persisted.
It was really cool though. I was like an 8x10, wasn't it? Something about
Yes, and well, even talking about women in mathematics.
Mhm.
I mean, Nevertheless She Persisted.
Oh yeah.
Truly, there's a lot of overlap. A lot of interesting things happen because we're not a traditional gallery, and
Yeah.
so some things. Well, one, we accept people who are not necessarily working artists yet.
Yeah.
So we've gotten
Mhm.
exceptional artwork from people who are like, "Oh, this is my hobby," and I'm like,
Yep.
this is more than a hobby. You need to have you considered, yeah, like you should probably maybe do this for sure professionally. Um, so yeah, it's a lot of that kind of stuff where
Mhm.
you just you start to get you offer people an opportunity to show their work, and you offer people an opportunity to say that they have been shown, and so
Yes.
that's also gratifying.
Well, it's really I love the fact that it is open to anyone,
Mhm.
because we have brought people in from all over the community, even outside of the Huntington area, and it's so nice to be able to see them come in, and then, of course, they visit the campus. They might not have had any other reason to be here,
Absolutely.
and it's so neat because they come in and they're like, "Oh, this is Marshall, and, this is your library," and it's really fun. I mean, because we get that with HerdCon. I mean, there are people who attend it
Mhm.
who have no other reason to be here necessarily, and it's so neat to see them come and bring their experiences to campus, and just to see their reactions and get them interacting with our students and our faculty and stuff, and it's I don't know, I just love it.
It's a big chunk of this is outreach.
Mhm.
So you really do. We will. I remember when we first tried to keep it to just Marshall students, faculty, and staff. And I would say if you have ever taken a class, if you've
Yep.
considered taking a class, if you driven by the campus
Yep.
slowly,
Yeah, it kind of expanded.
and then we just kept growing and growing. And then people were like, well, what about the tri-state area? And I was like, absolutely.
Yep. We still got space. Sure.
100%. Yeah. Essentially, we really want to highlight with just the amount of what is out there,
Mhm.
right? You don't know what artists, what people are out there, what they're doing, until you give them an opportunity to kind of shine.
Yes.
And so that's a good chunk of it too.
Yeah.
But
And it is
we've
fun.
had kids. I've had the kids have shown.
Oh, yeah.
So that's fun. Uh yeah, I it is really gratifying to come up and say, well, it isn't much and I'm not really a real artist, but here you go. And I'm like, you're an artist because you're getting shown
Yep.
in an exhibit. So congratulations.
You're an official art exhibitor.
Right. Right. Oh, but to be clear, we also have working artists
Mhm.
who professionally this is what they do, and they're incredible. And I'm always honored and
Mhm.
shocked when I get their artwork, and so happy.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, wow, I wish. Guys, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. Probably should have started off with this. The artists can sell their work.
Yes.
So how that
Oh!
Yes. Yes. Artists can sell their work. How does that work? When you fill out the prospectus, you're going to say, you're going to list a price. Here's how it works. If somebody says, I would like to buy this piece of artwork, I say, I will give your contact information to the artist. Librarians cannot be involved in any way, shape, or form. We do not get a cut of anything. No money touches hands. No money touches hands.
Yep, yep.
None whatsoever. So I'll give the artist the person's contact information, and then the artist contacts that person. I'm not involved.
Yeah.
No one's involved except for the artist
And
and the person.
the art is committed to be on display though for the semester. So any
Yes.
submissions that come in the 8th and 9th of December will go on display about mid-December is when we're going to be hanging them.
Yep.
And they will be
Mhm.
on display until May 5th.
Correct.
So yeah, just after the end of the spring semester, just after finals. So
Yeah.
even if you do want to buy them, just be prepared for a little bit of a wait.
Yeah,
Aw.
it's that is something else I'm very happy about because it gives working artists an opportunity to perhaps get a little line of money going.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or I've seen another artist who has said, these are not for sale yet. Here is my website. So that artist is able to essentially sell through their website.
Oh yeah.
Which I've seen
And
happen.
it is a great way
Oh.
for local artists to get known and seen because, it is nice being on a campus. We have all kinds of people. I mean, literally all over the place. All ages show up, all backgrounds and stuff. And it is a nice way to be seen and possibly sorry about that. And possibly have other people pick up your work and look at it and stuff. So yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
So, do you have any future plans for art exhibitions?
Right now, I am hoping to get a bigger group to help me in the future. Generally speaking, it's really been Dr. Heather Stark and Jamie Platt and I who have been who've done the bulk of a lot of these spring shows.
Mhm.
So what I have slowly been doing is bringing in more people to hopefully help with setup and takedown and getting everything or organizing a large show when it's not your full-time gig, when you're not a professionally trained
Mhm.
curator is an undertaking. Especially when it's on top of a gig. Also, I'm working on a dissertation
Uh-huh.
this
Mhm.
winter. So future shows will definitely I want them to take place and to continue, but hopefully more of a group effort. We do have a lot of more regular shows that are not the spring exhibit that are
Mhm.
not tied with the School of Art and Design. So we have Indigenous Appalachia, which will be coming through, and hopefully we have a local artist. I believe her name is Christine White. Hopefully she will be showing soon too.
Awesome.
So
Is the Indigenous Appalachia, is that a traveling exhibit?
yes, it
or-
is.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm super excited about that one too. There's a lot of opportunities out there to so what you have to do is we try to push out as much information as possible through the communications department, but we have a research guide on events
Mhm.
for Marshall University Libraries, and that's where we put out most of that information.
Yeah. And we'll share that link with the podcast. It actually has the link to the prospectus. It has some information still, I think, on some of our past exhibits as well. And we tried to keep updating it as we add new events and all the kind of fun stuff that comes up in the library because we do a variety of things in the library.
We do. I like to keep it as one, a lot of it's fortuitous, but
Mhm.
also the idea to keep a very diverse kind of amount of information coming in.
Mhm.
So that's always exciting and interesting to try and do.
Very true. Very true. Well, let's see. Is there anything else we want to cover today, guys? I mean, we've got of course, our wonderful art exhibits that we can't wait to see what comes in for the Optimism in Appalachia. I'm
I
excited.
am very optimistic regarding it.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I am very excited about that one. I think it's going to be really nice. And I love the topic for this. Because I agree. Some of the other ones have tended to bring in some really heavy topics. And so
Yeah.
I'm hoping this will be a nice light, uplifting kind of feel. So we need a pick-me-up after all the pandemic.
Hope. We're
Oh
looking
my.
in the
Hope.
future. Hope.
Hope. Everyone, bring your hope, your uplifting, your little bit of the things that we love about the future and want to see. Let's manifest something great.
I mean, and if I just got this vision of a bunch of people just like the pictures of their chunky cats. I mean, if it brings
You know
joy,
what? It brings you joy.
if
Yeah.
it brings you joy, if
We
it
need that.
you-
We need pictures
well-
of people's chunky cats.
Heather, there's nothing stopping you
Yes.
from being in this show. You just have to submit artwork. Give it a try. Give it a whirl.
Yes. Yes. I do encourage people to try because I have done it myself and it's fun.
Oh my.
It is kind of nerve-wracking if you've not exhibited before, but it's really neat because I've been there for the openings and it's always been kind of interesting to see people's reactions. And it's a very odd feeling, but a very uplifting one when people actually do give you positive feedback on your work and stuff. So yeah, it's very cool. I encourage anybody to try it. At least try it once. And like we said, there's been literally a math formula. There's been wood burnings and paintings and quilts and poetry. And I mean, we're all over the place with what you've
Sculptures,
seen.
sculptures of found objects.
Mhm. Yeah, I forgot about the found objects.
Books, where people have made books.
Mhm.
Those have been in.
Yeah, we had the one that was like a weird fold out.
Yes, a weird fold out book.
Yes, it was like a weird fold
What was
out
that
book.
artist's name? Brent Thomas.
Oh,
That
was that one? We love you,
Oh
Brent.
my gosh.
such a
But
good
yeah.
artist.
Yeah, it was a nice, unique take on the book, and it was just this really cool fold out. It's really small too because
Yeah.
we had it in the display case.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
really cool. He's a good artist.
Here's an
Yeah.
idea. We actually should do an edible book fair.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Absolutely. I'm on board. I'm on board to be the judge of that.
I have wanted to do an edible book fair for so long.
It would
Man.
be a fun event. I think
I'm on board.
not sure what time of the year would be best. Probably like mid-fall, maybe.
And until I have the dissertation
be fun.
complete, I will show up with a fork. I feel like I'm open.
Like, woo.
I can't imagine.
Oh,
doing
if
it, though.
last Thanksgiving is any indication, though, I should be a judge or an observer, not a contestant.
Oh.
Did you have some baking issues?
Just
What happened?
Jim's mother wasn't feeling well, so she made the turkey, and then I forgot to. I'm vegetarian, so we had a tofu turkey, and I forgot to thaw it. So all the problems with a turkey appear when you don't thaw your tofurkey. So
Oh, oh no.
yeah, so it was eventually thawed and baked, but it was very dried out.
No.
Oh.
Hey, at least no one got sick because I have been at a college study abroad Thanksgiving
No.
and oh my God, they forgot to thaw the turkey until that morning.
Oh no.
And we literally had a turkey in the sink with hot water running over it.
That thought did occur to me for the tofurkey.
Oh, no.
It did occur to me.
Because it can actually be more likely to get like salmonella.
Oh gosh. Yeah, in
That
my
would
case,
be a disaster, but it was a very
So nobody got sick.
thankfully no one got sick to my knowledge.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It was scary there for a bit. I was like, I don't know about
In my case, there were instructions for what to do if you forgot to thaw it on the tofurkey. So I guess vegetarians are predisposed to not thaw their tofurkeys.
Oh.
People forget. It doesn't matter if you're vegetarian or not. I know in our household, the holidays are always that chaos. And it's
Mhm.
like, oh, we got to do this and this and this and this and this. And you always forget something.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that being a very common oops.
Well, can I take
Yeah.
a moment to just brag on my middle child,
Ooh.
Avon Grace Thomas? She is 12 years old.
Oh.
She did the entire turkey, and she did it from a Hogwarts cookbook.
Oh,
And
nice.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I just was like expecting the minimum. I was just
Yeah.
like you guys. I was like, I just want it cooked, and I want it edible, and I don't want anyone to get sick. You guys, it's probably in the top 3 turkeys I've ever had in my
Oh,
life.
wow.
So
Oh my.
fortunately,
Oh,
her
Avon.
dad, oh yeah, he got it brined the night before, as you do, right?
Oh,
Mhm.
But the instructions of this thing lasted 2 pages, and I thought, "There's no way." And sure enough, no,
that's
it's
awesome.
cooked like I've never seen before. It
Okay.
involved a lot of olive oil. It involved not putting it directly onto the pan, which I've never heard of before.
Oh, wow.
A lot
Okay.
of citrus, like lemons and oranges, and just
It
crazy
sounds
amounts
delicious.
of butter.
That sounds wonderful.
I mean, and you guys, and I was like, it was incredibly moist, and the herbs were perfection, and I was like, "You are 12. What are you doing?"
That's awesome.
You know? And then my oldest, like, she baked a cake from scratch, and she was like, "But look at my cake," and I was like, "This is good cake. This is amazing turkey." Like, gotta keep
Like
eating.
I'm honestly not trying to downplay my other kids, but oh my God, this turkey.
Right, no, I would have expected a foodie adult to have made that
Nice.
turkey,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
we're
Oh
like,
wow.
"Avon for the win."
Yeah.
Yeah, and the grandparents were there, and I was like, "Look, she's
Very
tiny and she
nice.
cooks."
Oh.
Aw.
And
Yeah,
this is why we teach our kids things like, cooking when they're young. Let them
absolutely.
go at it because, oh my
Mhm.
God, sometimes it's the biggest win ever.
Yeah, the people who, they're recent, 18-year-olds, and they don't know how to do their
Mhm.
laundry, and they don't know how to cook, and I'm
Yeah.
like, my daughter is in the corner, like, making mashed potatoes and a turkey, and, like, yeah, I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah. Let your kids cook. Let them experiment with it. It's fun. It's a great idea.
now as long as we get assignments turned in on time,
Oh.
well, then
Oh.
we'll be rocking and rolling at that point. But anyway, I know that's wildly off topic, but
Uh,
yeah.
Nothing is ever fully off topic because, we do go into I mean, it's the popcast and
Yeah.
you just brought up cooking from a Hogwarts cookbook.
My
Speaking of which,
all love HerdCon. They love it, and I love that they will come to me and they're like,
aw,
"I need to go to Marshall." Like, "Why? HerdCon." And I'm like,
Aw.
I know
aw.
the people who do that. And then suddenly I'm cool again. Like,
Tell
Mhm.
tell 'em they can come help.
right? Like,
Yeah.
If they wanna volunteer.
they would. They would.
It's like, we accept your help, guys. We love your help.
Yeah. They would do that, Michelle.
And tell them if they want, I will send postcards home with you, and they can hand them out to all their friends.
All right.
Oh my gosh, that would be genius.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You don't think I haven't done this with my own daughter.
well, one is in high school, one's in middle school, one's in elementary school, so you're gonna get
Oh,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
that would be genius. Absolute genius.
It's a lot of fun. My daughter actually wears her HerdCon shirt to school every now and then because I request her to, or did. She's homeschooled
Mhm.
now, but it was always kind of fun. She would roll her eyes at me.
Yeah, but your daughter is
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, well, this is all, I mean, all of my kids, this is what they're into. Like every single one of them. Like let's see, Henry loves all things Harry Potter, and then
Aw.
so Avon loves all things. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Like video games,
Oh yeah.
like and like Animal Crossing
Uh-huh.
and manga. Hey,
Oh, manga.
manga. There you
Yes.
go. There you go. See, that's how cool I am, friends.
Hey, you're doing good.
And
Hey.
then,
Oh, ask her if she's gotten involved in Pokemon. And if so, is she Scarlet or Violet?
ooh, thank you for that. I will ask her.
Yeah,
Scarlet
there's a
or
lot of
Violet?
different color groups, I guess, for the different versions and teams for the Pokemon.
There is this a video game where they're all obsessed with at school that involves cookies and like princesses and cookies and
Ooh.
I don't know what it man.
So many of them are doing the mini games in Roblox these days, which I
Yeah.
can't keep up with. Because it's like my daughter plays like 15 different Roblox games. And the best I can do is I know that it's Roblox. So that's good. I can keep up with that part. But the mini games get all over the place. And it's funny because so many of them are like job simulators.
Oh wow.
And
Oh,
I was like, really? It's like I can't get you to do chores, but you're gonna do job simulation for like an hour.
Yeah.
Like you've been making factory pieces. What? What?
Right. It boggles the imagination because they'll
Mhm.
talk about like, oh, this is how I'm gonna organize my space. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
great. Can you do that with your bedroom?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Do any of your kids play Minecraft?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. My daughter will like plan out entire communities, and yet at the same time planning out her living space is no.
Right.
It's just a but my God, the Minecraft community will be laid out with nice
Right.
even streets. She actually thinks about putting bridges through the lava in the nether and all this kind of
Right.
stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, I have to put, the fencing on there so people don't fall off. And I'm like,
Shows a
where
lot of
did all this come
forethought.
from? It's like all this planning. Like, I love that you're doing this. This is problem solving. We want more problem solving. This
Right.
is great. Critical thinking skills. But can we apply this to our room?
And then suddenly the blank look, like
Yeah.
or better yet, it is clean. They will be standing in a pile of just complete filth. Like, but it's perfect. This is
What do you mean? What do I need to do to my room?
well, I recently had to clean my office quickly, and because I had an unexpected guest, and you guys, I've lost. I mean, like I know it's in there, like it's in the office somewhere. I don't know where it is, and it's vital stuff. And I'm like, this is why we can't have unexpected guests in our. Give me a heads up if you are like just a little like 5 minutes, like something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I just did the whole. I took my desk and just like slid everything off.
Yeah, I can't take unexpected guests in my cubby. I don't
Hey,
in my cubby lately.
your cubby is nowhere near as bad as some of your other cubbies.
I don't
Hey,
know.
we don't judge here.
I'm not judging.
so
I'm
much
just
stuff.
stating your cubby isn't as bad as say, I don't know, my space.
I don't know. I can see nice, neat
Yeah,
books in your
it
background.
looks
My
neat.
background's like, if I turn the wrong way at my desk and I'm on camera, it's like there's a book cart with book cart stuff and HerdCon stuff, and oh look, there's a pile of stickers or the HerdCon postcards or whatever task I'm working on at the moment. It's like
Right.
all over the place.
And then we go home straight faced and we say to our children,
Oh yeah.
clean.
Oh, I never do it straight faced at this point. I just do what you can,
Yeah.
please. Like I'll help. I usually get turned down for that one. every now and then I will get an acceptance. So you know what? Yeah, I could use some help. But most of the time,
Oh,
I don't want you in my space.
Right. Right.
my boyfriend will suggest that we should do a massive reorganization of the apartment, and I just look at him blankly.
It gets a little
Yeah.
overwhelming when you think reorganization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really need to do that.
Well, it's hard because, okay, so when I was first married, you wouldn't believe it, but my husband and I just total hippies. So the goal was to own we were minimalist, truly minimalist. So we tried to own only things that could fit in one vehicle, and that one vehicle, I remember the point where we were at the height of this and it didn't even fill the entire car.
Oh, wow.
And that was also when I was happiest because we had virtually, you essentially took care of yourself and your possessions were just only what was absolutely
Yeah,
necessary
very, very.
at the
Mhm.
bare minimum. And eventually the goal was to try and, have it in your backpack and you'd be able to total freedom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And now fast forward 15 years, 16 years with babies. And now I have an entire house full of like tiny tchotchkes.
Yep.
And I'm like, what is this? And you try and throw it away. And they're like, no,
Oh, God,
that
no.
was from 3rd grade. And my friend gave it to me. And I'm like, it's a pebble. This is a
Yep.
pebble. You realize, are all the rocks necessary? Are they
Oh,
all
yes.
necessary to keep in the house? Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, they are. And that you'll be doing laundry and they're just the jeans, just like sand and dirt falls out of them. And you're just,
Oh, yeah.
please,
Yeah.
please stop. Yeah, one day, and hopefully the goal is like maybe there'll be a peak crazy in the house. And then once they all are older, then we will go back down to owning. Because serious, that is when I had the
yeah.
most time. I was the most free, as the happiest. I mean, next to no worries because you didn't have any work because you had
Yeah, nothing to worry about.
You didn't have to, nothing.
I've
There.
noticed that with having kids and pets.
Yeah.
They bring in lots of extra stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Your gear.
Even with
everybody.
my oldest is 21 and living in Oregon now. And yeah, I still, even with just 3 human beings in the house instead of 4, I'm like, how do we have all this stuff? Where does it all come from? And I'm a huge, as far as a guilty party in these stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have a room of art supplies at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then, my husband's got his podcasting stuff and his gaming stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, we're still definitely offenders on the stuff, but it's one of those things. It's like, I don't remember having all of this.
Do you ever have moments where you're like, whoa, how did this happen?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Oh my gosh. I just started doing amigurumi.
Amiguri. Yes.
I just started doing it.
Amiguri.
is that where
Yes.
like what to describe it?
It's the crochet of little,
L-
little animals and stuff. And
Or
usually,
little
Sounds
people.
amazing.
yeah, they're adorable.
Yeah.
That's Heather, that is
Yeah.
optimistic. That is hopeful.
Yes.
Yeah, but my cats come out with
do an
like
amigurumi.
the heads tilted one way and there's one arm up here and one arm down here. And
I think that's even more
that's
amazing.
optimistic in the
And-
sense that my baby Yoda is my chunky cat has decided that baby Yoda is his kitten.
Oh. Yeah.
So baby
They need
Yoda doesn't even have
that.
ears or clothing or arms.
Oh.
So because the cat decided that baby Yoda was his.
Oh, we need pictures of that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
I don't know where baby Yoda is now.
oh,
But I will take
Don't put my
photos when I locate baby Yoda again. Notice that I refuse
sure.
to name baby Yoda as Grogu.
most people do that. Because Baby Yoda is just cuter than Grogu.
When
I know.
Not with more of those, because I
Uh,
need that in my life.
there's currently the Rogue One miniseries out.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
I can't remember the name of it, but that's
Andor.
Andor. Yeah.
Distracting
So
me
I
from
don't
writing.
know
Yeah.
when is the next season of Mandalorian.
I think it's soon.
Okay.
I think
I'm
it's
thinking
soon.
it should be coming out fairly soon.
Super excited about that. Super excited about
I'll
Willow.
have to restart Disney for a little while.
Yeah.
Like I'll wait till it's all out and then I'll restart Disney so I can crash
Wait,
course
Willow
it.
comes out what on the 30th? Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, does it? Oh,
Not that I'm counting.
Willow's going to be amazing.
Has
And
to be, that's
they've
my
got
childhood.
some of the previous stars from Willow.
yeah.
Yeah, they have to. Like, because
Yeah.
I would have been
Willow's going to be in it.
Oh yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, he's one of the main characters,
Well,
isn't
he
he?
has to be. Like, I mean,
He's still like, the main character. I want to say he's one of the directors or something or producers for it.
I don't know that particular detail,
I know
but I'm excited. Ben would know.
Oh, Ben would probably know.
my
Yeah.
oldest daughter was like, "Were you a fan of that when you were a kid?" And I looked her straight in the face and I said, "Your name was almost Alora."
No.
Yeah,
I
I
know
was a
some people
fan.
who have children named Laura.
yeah, I was a fan.
But yeah, I'm excited about that one. And I just started watching Wednesday too. The new Tim Burton
Oh my
Wednesday
gosh,
Addams.
yeah, that's I love it so much.
Yeah, it is really cool. So
I need to get into that.
it is really good. I think I went through half the season yesterday.
Well, and I thought, well,
God.
surely they can't make this better. Surely they can't add anything. And then I watched the first episode and I was like, oh, Tim Burton, that explains it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's-
Oh,
he did a great job with it.
Oh yeah.
Christina Ricci is supposedly going to be in it. I hope
Yeah,
that
she
isn't
is.
too
That's
much of
what she
a
is.
spoiler, but
Yeah, she is in it, and a reoccurring character. I mean, a fairly constant character. So
Yeah.
yeah. If you haven't watched it yet, it's definitely worth watching, especially if you're into the spooky, kooky kind of
Yeah.
TV. Which that's one of my. I love Tim Burton because everything he does is that weird, spooky slash
Right.
surreal.
Yeah.
Maybe.
mhm.
He's
So-
got an aesthetic that I love.
Oh yeah. He's a huge aesthetic for my household. I even have the black and white striped wall.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's where I put all the most colorful artwork that I do is up on that wall. So it's like black, white, and then poof,
Yeah.
color. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh God. You've seen my wall. I
Which
think Michelle has seen my walls. I think.
I've seen mostly the pop figure wall.
Yeah. Oh,
Those
you should
pop
see
figure.
the art walls.
I need pictures.
I'll send you pictures.
All right.
Yeah, it and you need to
It's
see pictures of the pop figure
mhm.
collection.
Yeah, you guys
So-
can show me your awesome interiors and I will show you pictures of my children and you guys can show me like pictures of your crafts and I will show you again pictures of my children. And
They are kind of a craft though,
Oh,
because you're building them
right.
up over time. They're
Right.
a very
Yep.
long-term investment as a craft too.
there's no interior decorating. Even though again I'm married an artist, it doesn't because things get
Ah.
broken. You can't have
Yeah.
you really can't.
Yeah, two dogs, 3 cats, a 12-year-old, and a bearded dragon. And
You have
My
a
husband.
bearded dragon?
yes,
Wow.
yeah,
Oh my
It's
gosh.
incredible.
it's a rescue. One of our neighbors had it, had it for a couple of years and decided they couldn't take care of it anymore, and knew my husband, and was like, "Hey, do you think you'd like a bearded dragon?" At the time, I think we only had 1 cat. Sure. So we got the bearded dragon. It came with its own enclosure and terrarium and
no.
stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And the fun part is it came named Emma, and we only found out in like the last year of owning said bearded dragon that if it's a female, it will actually lay eggs whether or not they're fertilized or not.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've now had the bearded dragon for like 3-4 years, no eggs. We were like, "Hey, Emma, sorry, we thought you were a girl all this time and you're not." So
Emma's
Emma's actually a
boy.
boy. So there are times that we refer. It's really hard to change a pet's name after so many years. So we go between Emma and M because
Yep.
we're
Right.
trying to be conscious of it because it's like, well, yeah, we're sorry. We didn't know enough about you. But
Oh my gosh.
it's a very interesting kind of pet to have.
Right.
Partially because we recently had an incident with one of the cats because we like to take Emma out of the enclosure and handle Emma and pet them and sure, socialize them.
Sure.
You don't want them to end up getting feral in the enclosure and everything. So one of our cats is absolutely obsessed
Oh no.
with Emma and stays on top of the enclosure and follows Emma around the enclosure, wants next to Emma all the time.
Oh.
Well, we had Emma out and he decided he wanted to play.
Oh no.
And he reached over and Emma's been in the middle of one of their moltings. So
Uh-huh.
they're shedding all this skin. And the cat reaches down and goes and catches a claw in the skin. And if you've ever seen a bearded dragon, when they get upset, their neck goes and puffs out and turns black and they hiss.
Oh no.
And then the tail comes around and whoosh. And so
Oh my
Jessica got
God.
smacked with the lizard's tail because the cat was being curious and accidentally clawed the lizard. So
Oh, no.
we ended
You've
up
got
having to
Wild
rush.
Kingdom happening.
Oh yeah. Oh, it gets so crazy. It's like came home from the art museum the other night and I had Justin and Jesse come up because I was at a little craft exhibit that they did for Museum Store Sunday. And so I was up there for that and they came up for just about like a half hour of it.
Mhm.
So
How is Rain doing, by the way?
Oh, Rain's doing great. Rain used to be the manager at the Red Caboose.
Oh yes, yeah.
And is now the manager of the Huntington Museum of Art store. So it was awesome. I got to see Rain, and they've been doing so much stuff up at the museum. It's really cool. But so I come home from that, and literally the animals had only been alone in the house for maybe an hour at that point.
Uh-oh.
And we walked in the door, and the dogs were in the kennel, nice and quiet. And the cats had decided that they needed to run across my craft table. And
Oh
so
no.
I've been making magnets with comic book art. So literally little hole punch, take a comic book page, hole punch the page of the piece that you want, put a hodgepodge it on the little magnet. It's cute. It's adorable.
Yeah.
It's something I'm thinking about setting up for people to do during HerdCon for fun. Just little simple craft.
Well, we certainly have enough sample art to
I know. That was my inspiration. Like, I've got some extras of these comics laying around. But yeah, the cats had found the little section of hole punch comic art and it was
Oh no.
and it was literally all over the room, like a good 8-foot by 8
Oh my.
of nothing but 1-inch circles of comic book art. And my husband's, he's tired. He's just like, oh God. I was like, go sit down. I will work on cleaning up the cat's mess, and I will have the daughter go round up the cats.
How many cats do you have?
3.
Oh,
Yeah. Age 2 to 7 now.
oh,
So, because we rescued 2. Let's see. Yeah, we rescued 2 right before the pandemic started. And then we rescued a dog shortly after that. Or we were gifted a dog shortly after that, and that's Zelda. And then we rescued a dog 3 months later
Oh
that a friend
my.
of mine had found. It had been abandoned up in Charleston right next to the interstate. And so,
Oh.
yeah, so we ended up adopting him too.
it sounds like you accept a lot of gifts that are pets. Have you ever wanted a guinea pig?
Oh, I think my cat might eat it. I don't know. I do have friends that have guinea pigs though, so
Oh,
let
yeah.
me I'll see if they need an extra one.
Sure, sure. We've got she's fluffy, she's
Oh,
adorable.
is it
but
female?
Yes.
Okay. They have males. I will have to check on that.
Yeah.
I know they haven't wanted babies. So,
Oh, well.
so
Well, see, Sugar is just she's all
Oh, yeah.
solitary in her little cage and
Aw.
Oh.
fine, love on her, and but
Does she make the little chirpy noises?
she does.
Are
She
they,
100%.
if you haven't played with guinea pigs, the chirpy noises are something else to
It's
listen to.
so cute, so cute.
Oh,
So if anyone out there needs a guinea pig,
yeah.
let me know.
We can then put you in touch with Sabrina.
Yeah.
Thomas at Marshall.edu.
Speaking
We're
of
gonna talk
which,
about the show, and I can tell you, about a guinea pig named Sugar.
Sugar.
Sabrina has the cutest dog.
I do. Max is adorable.
Aw.
Max was a rescue, and during the pandemic, and my daughter Avon was turning 10, and all she wanted for her birthday was a puppy. And we would say, we will buy you a car. Now it's not a good time for a puppy. We're in a global pandemic. What else could you want? And she's 2 weeks straight. Puppy, nothing else. And I will be sad with that one. You could not at that point in time get a puppy anywhere. There were no puppies
yeah.
to be had. And I was like, I cannot purchase a dog. I'm not, I mean, serious. How far have you fallen from the hippie status? You're now gonna purchase a dog? What are you? Next time you're gonna be in a country club? No, stop it. So anyway, long story short, the shelter had just accepted
Aw.
a box of puppies. We met them as soon as they drove up, and essentially we're like, she will like this one. And we had Max. And the Max, so you're with your dog 24/7. So my kids were bored. Max knows no less than 15 different tricks. I mean, I'm not kidding.
God.
That's brilliant.
Max is very bright, very sharp, really good Appalachian black dog. We will watch.
Aw.
We watched a dog show on Thanksgiving, and they're like, "What is Max like this one?" I was like, "No, honey. Max is like 4 or 5 of those dogs all mixed together."
Yep. Yeah. One of our dogs is a little less of a mutt, I guess, because we know both of the parents, kind of thing, and then the other one is like, we know that there's some Jack Russell in there.
Yeah.
There might be some Greyhound. We don't know.
Yeah.
All we know is that he's really loud and anxious.
Oh.
And he's been anxious. I mean, he is like anxiety dog from like this weird plane of existence that everything is out to kill you, apparently, because he is just that kind of, if there's anybody besides the 3 of us in the house.
No.
I mean, he just starts
Oh.
barking, he's freaking out, and he won't get close to him for the longest time. He's just now starting to get so that he'll be around my mom and my brother. And beyond that, it's like even Jesse's friends come over to visit. He spends the entire time sitting on the couch next to me, barking every time he hears them talk. I'm
Oh,
like,
Oh.
oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Some of these people have been in our house like 100 times.
yeah. Yeah. Max is not, he's just not socialized. So anyone comes
Oh,
over and he's just freaking out. And
oh
we're
yeah.
like, seriously, it's okay, man.
Yep.
It's gonna be all right. And we'll do all of these tricks, but we'll absolutely freak out at the sight of another person. So
Oh,
we're working on it.
yeah.
Slowly but
Oh.
surely. That's why a guinea pig and a dog that's high need is
Oh, it can be
I'm just
exhausting.
telling you, she's a good guinea pig, y'all. But anyway.
Well, it looks like we're gonna need to start wrapping up. I know we've got other appointments and stuff coming up, so
Aw.
thank you again for being a part of the HerdCon podcast
This
today.
was fun.
Oh,
This
we
was a
have
lot
a
of fun, y'all.
yeah. We love
Oh,
doing this.
by the way, as Miss Science Fiction nerd,
Oh yeah.
if you get it in your head that you want to do a presentation at HerdCon,
Oh yeah.
None of my
we
presentations would be appropriate if we were going to talk about Star
I
Trek.
don't. Hey, you could do some Star Trek. Hell yeah.
you
All
could
right.
actually.
I say
You
Got it.
really could.
we have panel submissions open currently.
They are open.
They're on marshall.edu/HerdCon.
No.
Click on panels. But yeah,
yeah,
they're like
no,
up
I
to
could
45 minutes and people can talk
Just
about
plugging it. Just plugging it.
my wild attraction to Patrick Stewart.
Ah,
That is not wild. That's normal.
yeah, Patrick Stewart's pretty awesome.
That's because I have it. I'm reframing from like I want to keep my job, so I will not tell you what I would do an entire presentation. Gotta keep
That
it
is highly normal.
Yeah, love Patrick Stewart, and yeah,
Oh yeah.
on Star Trek Next Gen was sort of it was I don't know if there was like
That's my teen years. I mean,
yeah, if there like there's a center to my soul, Star Trek Next Gen.
oh yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Next Gen. That was that's probably my favorite of the Star Trek franchise. The
Oh,
Next
yeah.
Gen series.
Yeah,
So
love it. Although some of the latest iterations of it, I have also really deeply enjoyed, but and deeply appreciated, but not yeah
yeah.
it's
Mm.
just enter to me. But yeah, no, I love it all.
Awesome.
Well,
Alright.
anytime you want to come back and discuss Just Simply Picard,
Yeah.
there
If it
is
would
a
like
series
to,
on it.
objectify all of the cast. Yeah, sure.
You know, you got to talk about the different things that make people watch it.
So many times when I
Yeah.
say inappropriate things, I'm just like, and I say, Dr. Monica Brooks, she can be. So you may direct all of your angst toward her, and sure to mention my name, Sabrina.
Oh,
Mm.
see that HerdCon is open for all of that though.
That's
So,
good.
we like to make it a safe place
A-
for
a
people to
safe-
talk about whatever.
A safe place
So.
to
Yeah.
Talk about our love.
If you got
for Patrick Stewart.
yeah, if you love certain characters, you love certain characters.
Yeah.
And there will be somebody that attends HerdCon that is right on the same page, guaranteed. That's the fun of fandom. We love that part. Wow. All right, folks. Thank you again for joining us for the HerdCon podcast. And we will
Thank
talk
you
to
again.
soon.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Thanks for
Yes,
having me.
thank
I really
you.
appreciate it, you
And
guys.
definitely you can come back anytime.
Yeah.
We enjoy it. And who knows what we'll talk about.
Yeah.
So, all right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.